off I am. I'll have to change that.
Girl, no, I'm off. I'm about to hit leave meeting.
Yeah, that's off. I'm coming.
Are we live? We probably
I think so.
We're both talking.
Hey. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? It is rainy here, but it is not freezing, so that is a good thing. I am Lana Quest, because I guess that would be a good thing for someone to know. And this, I'm your host. Welcome to the Quest Show. All backwards. Okay.
That's okay.
Sorry.
You know what, y'all? I got it. I'm Honor, y'all, and guess what? I'm not really far behind her where she is. We're a little tired this evening, but we are here. I am honored to be here.
Honored to be here. Full disclosure. Full disclosure.
Go ahead. What's the full disclosure?
Tomorrow is the anniversary of my mom's passing. So I am like, just really, so I'm probably going to forget words. I'm going to lose order. Yeah, I took a nap too before I got on here, and I just woke up and I was like, I thought it was like 7 a.m.
Don't you hate when you do that?
So,
like you take a little nap to be refreshed, and then you feel like
it was right.
Oh, I didn't actually sleep the whole night. I really want to crawl back into bed and do that now. Like that's kind of how I feel sometimes after I get up at night.
Exactly. But yes. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I think I was going to say we have some good stuff to talk about, but we first have order of business.
We do. Anyone who is out there for the first time, again, this is the Quest Show. Yes. I am Lana Quest. Exactly. That is her. I didn't do that.
No, it wasn't you this time.
And look at me going to my phone. The order of business is, if you are out there, please like, share, and subscribe. We do have a new subscriber, Eileen. Thank you for subscribing. And I think we're going to begin the show, unless you want anything to chit chat about. There's a lot to chit chat about. What's going on this week?
There's a lot going on. I will just say that it is rainy here also. With rain means that it is not below freezing, so I'm not going to complain either.
Girl, tell it. No snow. No snow. So that's good. In the north, like we have not had snow. You haven't had snow, right? No snow. No.
You know what? I've seen a couple of flurries that if you weren't looking out the window, when they would go on, you weren't going to see them because they weren't touching anything. Like it was just like, like little draft. Yeah. That amounts to nothing.
So. Yeah, we're getting 50 next week. So global warming.
There's that.
Global warming. Before we jump, because I know we got news, but can we just talk about George Santos and his dog? Like, not talk about it, but who does that?
Girl. Let me tell you something. George Santos, or whatever his name is,
is going to hell.
He's going to hell
from a veteran and his help dog.
He'd have been better off going on Google, getting a random family, calling it his family, because that is a little bit more in line with how he lies. Right. His cousin in Mexico or whatever, they lost everything in the flood. Right. And like not the disabled vet's dog. Like, you're going to hell. He is going to. I just really is. Like, saying that. Like, so that is just. There's some things you just don't do.
Right.
And even criminals have a code.
And Americans, they love the dogs. Like, you just can't mess with some dogs, right? Like,
Americans love dogs more than they love people.
Yes, you can't mess. Did you see, Peter? What's wrong with you?
Well, and you know what? And here's the other thing. I mean, we have known, and I don't have any scientific fact or anything like that, but it has been written about. It is very widely accepted. I mean, there's a whole category such as service animals. You
Right.
have animals that are allowed on the plane because they calm anxiety.
Right.
They help
Mhm.
with PTSD. Like, this is medically proven
Mhm.
that animals, pets, especially with veterans, with
Mhm.
those that have undergone other traumatic events, it really helps them to basically live, to function.
Mhm.
And for this man's dog to be sick, right?
Mhm.
That is one thing. I have cats and I actually love dogs. I know you have dogs, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
I love my animals. I would be upset if they were sick. And if
Right.
and if someone came along, because here's the thing, I fortunately, my cats go get their, dewormer or whatever it is that they need. And that's about it. But I've never, had a pet that had leukemia or cancer or anything that really required serious treatment. And some of those procedures can be expensive. So I imagine if you are a veteran, this is your dog.
Right.
We don't know what else his situation was, and you have someone that comes along and offers to help save
Oh, you
your
know what?
dog.
No, it's worse than
Oh, because
that.
isn't he homeless?
So, right, he was homeless, and the
Mhm.
vet gave him the name of Santos that didn't go under Santos. It was his alias name, because obviously he must have registered as someone who loved animals, you know what I mean? Some type of charity or something like that. He must have been registered as. So the veterinarian gave the veteran the name of Santos, but he was going by another name. Right.
This is what I'm saying, or whatever his name
And
is. That is terrible.
whatever his name was at the time. And then they spoke. So Santos was well aware of service animal, the issues that he was having, and then said, hey, we'll set up a GoFundMe page. And that's what he did. And now, can you imagine? Now the veteran thinks, wow, we're raising money on this page. And this man closes it down and takes the money and blocks this man's calls. And then he has to put his dog down. So it's worse than that.
And then he shows up as a member of Congress.
So here is the lesson. If you are a thief, if you are a grifter on social media, we know some who had GoFundMes to like fix their teeth or things like that. Hey, you can run for Congress, the Republican Party.
You will be found out. And there will be consequences.
There will be consequences.
2023 is
but you can run. But you can run. Will accept you.
Because here's the thing, he can lie his way through the United States of America. Brazil is also looking at you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, they are.
Who's responsible for like extradition agreements and stuff like that?
I don't know. And how long does this stuff take?
Like, would it be like the Department of Homeland Security or somebody like that would have to approve a request?
Yeah, come get him, please.
Well, because
see over here.
Well, I mean, because it's like you don't want to put him out of Congress. He can't serve from a Brazilian holding cell.
Right. He should have to go back to Brazil to go to trial. Hopefully they're building a case. Hopefully, like
they are actually looking into. There are so many criminal acts that they are looking at as far as this man is concerned.
Well, it's I like don't know. The money thing is what it is. It's the money thing. Like that's the only thing in Brazil. The checks, lying is too bad. Lying's not a crime. Like
but that amounts to fraud, though. I mean, like wire fraud. Like when you get into taking people's money.
Yeah, if you lie to take their money, absolutely. Yes.
Right. Yes. It's not like
part.
You lived in
that part.
I won't even say anyway. Little city USA, and you took your grandmama's checks, and they just gonna wrote to the convenience store, and they just gonna prosecute you for forging checks. No, that's a little, and international, they deal with stuff a little differently
Right.
down.
Well, hopefully, man. Hopefully, because I don't know. I do enjoy watching him run down the halls of Congress.
But no,
Does.
I echo that on you on that. Like, hopefully something needs to be done soon.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll in, because he is a part of this discussion that we were going to talk about as far as committee assignments?
Yeah, let's roll on in. Great segue. Kevin had to pay the piper this week, didn't he? Or the pipers. They had to pay it. Wow. Kevin McCarthy picked some committee assignments. The 21 holdouts got committee assignments. Those 21 never Kevins. Yeah, they got what they wanted. Who got the big one? Our girl.
Well, doesn't Jim Jordan, isn't he oversight? I mean, he wasn't a holdout. Well, he was rewarded for his loyalty.
Right. But the 21 holdouts, like Andy Biggs is I guess he's on the I can't even see judiciary.
Gosar, where'd he go?
Gosar, did I write Gosar? Gosar is oversight.
Did Bobart go to oversight as well?
Bobart is oversight and accountability committee. Yes. Imagine that. The girl that didn't graduate high school is giving oversight.
She couldn't even oversight the salmonella out of her restaurant.
Right, exactly. She is the one that did that. Like, isn't that? And Gosar is the one who posted himself killing Nancy Pelosi. Remember, that's why
family was it Biggs or Gosar whose family disavowed him?
Maybe Biggs. I just know that Gosar did that video of him.
Yeah, which is why he was thrown off the committee in the first place.
Exactly. Exactly. Matt Gaetz, he's on the judiciary.
So he can. I wait a minute, because they all feel like they got on these committees, right, to stop whatever investigations. But I don't know. Like, I really want to ask this. Does Matt Gaetz getting on the Judiciary Committee and immediately trying to stop his own investigation, does that immediately make him look guilty?
Right, exactly. Does it?
Like, does it? Like, if you immediately haul up those that are investigating, and he won't even call it him. What's the guy that they actually got in Florida? Oh my gosh, it's been a while now. I forgot his name.
Giuliano?
The tax assessor that was cooperating.
I
want to say go. I don't know. Either way, it would be an investigation into that, right? Which of course is linked to his whole activity.
Exactly. Byron Donalds, the prop. Pays to be a prop, girl. It pays.
Mary said it was Gosar's siblings that disavowed him. They did. They called him a straight up racist and told him that he does not need to be running for anyone's office. That is
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So Byron Donalds, second year in, he's the Financial Services Committee. I mean, because
he's such a financial guru.
He's part of the big line. Who else? Let's see. Andy Biggs. We just talked about the judiciary. He's the head of the Freedom Caucus, is he? And Bobart got the big one because she's Homeland Security, right? Homeland Security. The girl who believes in Jewish space.
Bobart or Green?
Who?
Bobart or Marjorie Taylor Greene. Where did Green go? She got rewarded for her loyalty.
Homeland. Isn't she at the
right. No, you said Bobart. You meant Green.
Did I? Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, Green. Yes, Green is the Homeland Security, the one that believed in the Jewish space lasers. She is the one.
The Jewish space lasers. And I don't know if it went viral or not, but she had this CrossFit video where she was showing her routine. I think her tough CrossFit routine makes her uniquely qualified to be like Homeland Security.
Yeah, Mary, you think
I'm
she could be with
joking.
Malcolm Nance? It's like she'll be like asking.
She probably thinks that's what Homeland Security is, right? Or no, for Homeland Security, maybe she will ask to investigate the convictions of each and every wrongfully detained insurrectionist.
I mean, this is just, we're laughing about it because it is comical, but at the end of the day, nothing's going to get done. Like there's going to be no policy, no bills coming out of the House of Representatives. Like, how can they? They're going to be too busy doing subpoenas.
Here's the thing. From 2016 to 2018, we didn't get anything done either.
Yeah. It's true.
Or was it 2018 to 2020? 2018 to 2020.
It's true.
We had control of the House. I still do not know, and I'm going to actually look this up. I want to know the actual number of bills that Nancy Pelosi's House passed that went absolutely nowhere in the Senate, right?
Right.
And so I shouldn't say the only, because there's probably a few, but the silver lining to this is at least we have control of the Senate so that these wacky ass bills that they are passing are not going to go anywhere. Like,
girl, you hear the latest? That they want to get rid of the income tax?
Oh, right. And just have everybody pay a
30%,
30%.
30%
like,
national tax.
Kidding me?
How? Like, you would have to be a dum-dum to think that is helping regular folks. Like, how can you think that?
You would have to be a dum-dum. You would have to be incapable of listening,
math.
Reading,
you don't know math
or hearing
very well.
Oh no. Like, we already know how this is going to go. You know what? Stuff happens for a reason. They released Donald Trump's tax returns for a reason. That jackass had zero taxable income for how many years? So how he going? What's 30% of nothing?
Well, they want a 30%. They want to get rid of income. No income tax, no IRS, no income tax. That's what this is.
So I was misunderstanding.
Yes.
So how do you pay the 30%?
30% national tax, your food, your clothes. So everybody in America pays 30% national tax. So there is no more income. Your income is not taxed. That's why it's not fair anymore. Because you're just so rich people pay the same. Your groceries or whatever is going to be an extra 30%.
So help me understand.
It's stupid.
Help me to understand. The eggs, the dozen of eggs that I refuse to pay $5.98 for, I would then have to go to the register and pay a 30% tax on that. Because
according to Republicans, since you don't have an income tax, you should have more in your checks so you can buy them more expensive eggs.
Well, okay.
But however, the rich people who have more money, who aren't even buying the same goods and services at the rate that poor people are buying with larger families. Yeah, it's dead on arrival, but this is the bullshit.
That is just are we supposed to be stupid or something?
This is nonsense.
Like, help me to figure out. Girl. Help me to figure out how me paying 30% on a dozen of eggs is, but I don't have to. First of all, because it's bullshit. Are we getting rid of FICA? Because guess what? Sometimes FICA was larger than the income tax that I was taking out.
Girl, this is them once again trying to feed the rich. Once again, finding a way to feed the rich, like this back. Like it's
feed the rich and to shovel bullshit down because that is literally what that is.
They've been laughing about it like all day. Like who's that? Bull Bart must have came up with that. Like, because it just doesn't really, it makes no sense. 0 cents. That came out of McCarthy. Yep, flat tax.
They just going to throw a whole bunch of stuff out there.
Yeah.
People don't even know.
Yep. Gotta pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Ugh.
Right.
Where do you want to go next? Do you want to go to New Mexico or do you want to go to Florida?
Before we leave the committees, because, and I mentioned
Okay,
Santos because he got committees as well.
He
But
did.
here's the thing, he asked to be put on 2 committees, and there was an article that affiliated him, his cousin or his associate or somebody that he knows is the relative of a sanctioned Russian oligarch.
Oh, I did hear that.
And so they found it, and I don't know which committees he asked for, but the fact that you asked for any.
He probably wanted to be on like the financial committee.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna look up which committees he was on because
He's
is this
he's on the
related to
small
your-
he's on the small business committee. That's where that's
right.
where they threw him. I don't think he wanted to be on that committee, but they put him in the small business.
Yeah. Well, and I think, they just really need to investigate his ties. That money did not come out of thin air.
It sure did.
You don't get that type of raise.
You
don't go from working. It's not a thing. It is not a thing.
How do you even save $1,000 in this economy? Like, how do you save $1,000, let alone $700,000 to give away? So not even did he just had it, he had enough to give because you don't give your last. So obviously he must have had more.
Had some more. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
What in the world? Ron DeSantis, our favorite person to hate, has decided that African American AP courses, that's a new thing. There are maybe 9 or 10 states that have accepted that as an AP course. So it comes down to Florida. Ron DeSantis is banning it because he said it lacks educational value.
And violates their law.
And violates whatever that law is because it's a law to teach Black
Be woke.
history.
Is it the woke law? I don't think it, it's so many of them. I think it's the don't be woke or can't be woke or
anti-woke. Go back to sleep.
Right. And again, we are being sarcastic. Yeah, that's what we are. We're just being, because as serious as he is, it's just as ridiculous as they are. Like, so people can't have advanced knowledge about, is he just going to pretend like we don't exist?
Yeah, because really, Black studies are
what his end game is here.
Anti-Black studies. That's just where he's at. He's Black people of Miami, people of color, marginalized people. He ain't for you. Like, he's showing you, he's telling you, he won't even allow African American AP studies. They have European studies, Japanese AP studies, Italian AP studies. Black American? What?
Like, African Americans may not want to learn about their own heritage. It has no value to them. We don't need to know.
Like, that's the thing. He's literally saying a segment of people do not matter. And you wonder why we say Black Lives Matter? Like, look at this. He said it doesn't add any value to anyone.
That was just, yeah.
To anyone. Like, white people should know Black contributions to America. They're Black Americans. What are we talking about? It's fucking Americans. Like, it's so, as we call him, a ghoul, like
it's insidious.
Yeah. Like
It is insidious. And to be so publicly racist and bigoted.
He's
publicly like he's saying these things, and he's saying them like it's just the most normal, like he's saying, oh, it's another sunny day in Florida.
Yeah,
he really did say that. Like, we're not mincing words. I think that is verbatim. It adds no value, no educational value.
That's exactly what he said. And European
Artie, unadulterated fascism in Florida. Fascist Florida.
Yeah, I mean, this week he's been on a tear, right?
Oh my God!
Finding the businesses, if they mandate masks or vaccines, your business gets fined.
Mandate against doing that at all. Rewriting the school curriculum. Oh no, he replaced. I think he now has authority over, is it the school board president or something, the secretary of education for the state, like
change the whole curriculum. Slaves, a whole bunch of slaves didn't come here. The founding fathers didn't really want slaves, like just rewriting all of the stuff. And then he's taking money from public colleges if they teach diversity and inclusion.
Right.
Ron DeSantis is a vile racist.
Vile.
Anyone running around talk about anti-woke, you're a racist. That's what it is. Like, you're just telling us you're a racist. If you're anti-woke, that's what you are. Okay, so what else is there?
Well, you know what?
Bring it on, DeSantis.
Bring it on. We need to see who we're dealing with. Everyone at we need Ron DeSantis will be a good national pulse for the country, because I don't believe he has a snowball's chance in hell of winning anybody's presidential race. He's probably not even going to get the nomination. Let's just go there.
And he's a boring, like, he's just he's all pent up in his tight suits and like, well, as my anti-woke, like, it's like racists won't even like him.
But it'll be a good gauge to see what percentage of the company grasp on to his openly vile, racist, fascist, policies. It'll be a good gauge, because he's I don't know if he's practicing for the national stage. Like, the news conferences are insane. Most states don't run their states via news conference announcing this law that I hope Wes Moore, new governor of Maryland, is not.
Yay! Let's take a minute to congratulate Wes Moore. Yes.
Wes Moore and Aruna Miller.
Yes. Yeah.
First woman of color lieutenant governor. First African-American Black governor for the state of Maryland. Yeah. But I mean, that is not how. Do you know how many bills, how many ideas, how many things get passed around? Like, no, that's not supposed to be public. That is part of the problem. It's like TV politicians. You're so busy making a soundbite for the camera that does he even know how to govern? Does he know what good governing would look like?
Yeah.
At this point?
No. I said that today. I'm like, how does he even have time to govern when he's so busy, like, he's further marginalizing people, like attacking the trans? Like, that's another thing he asked for this week. He asked schools for a list of trans students.
What?
Yeah. He's on a rip roar, girl. And here's the thing. At some point, we're going to need businesses to step up. Journalists talk about it, activists talk about it, we talk about it, but we really need businesses to, like, step up and say, hey, we're not donating to this guy anymore. You know what I mean? Like, Disney World, you said something, you had to fight, like, come back. I hear Google donated to him, PayPal donated to him. He's telling you guys that he is going to fine you if you have mandates for masks and vaccines. Like, what he's telling you how to run your business. Like, that's not overreach, what is?
Exactly.
And that's what they run on. Anti-government overreach, but they're just reaching to uteruses, reaches into businesses, companies, schools, genitals. Like, what else is there?
You know, again, we keep saying this. It's like
all of them.
Increments of 2 years, right? And at this point, it's only like a year and a half. 2024. He's running for president. He has not announced, but he's going to run for president. Hopefully, that will clear Florida of its worst.
Oh.
Hopefully,
Gen Z, stay involved, stay up there.
They have to stay involved, right?
Yeah.
You know what? We have to maintain hope, right? Because while you do have a large number of the brown community that vote Republican, we have to understand their past experiences, you know, where they come from. We also have the kids of Parkland.
Right.
So all is not lost for the state of Florida. You do have a constituency down there that is about doing the right thing for their state and for their country.
Yeah.
And are making noise. Some of it might be a little naive, young, and immature noise sometimes, but that's okay. We need you all to continue to make noise. You're going to save the planet.
Yes,
You're going to get some of these guns off of the streets and out of people's hands. And you're going to make sure that people have the mental health services that they need.
Right.
So we don't have to deal with the George Santoses of the world anymore.
Hopefully not. Oh, we are at the halfway mark. Do you
Are we already? Wow.
Yeah, I know. So either we can slide in what happened in New Mexico.
I think we do need to talk about that. And then we can do quotes and questions, because that definitely, that definitely needs to be discussed. So
you can introduce it.
I don't know this man's name.
So his name is We Don't Care. Somebody we don't care. We don't care, Pena. That is his name. Disgraced Republican candidate.
Who lost by, I was astounded when you told me this.
Yeah, almost 50 points.
45 points.
You know what? So in recent days, they said 48. So it's like between 45, 48, almost 50.
But declared that he lost because the race was rigged.
Yes.
It was fraudulent.
That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Note to the riggers out there, because you know we are all about giving knowledge. Don't rig to that degree, because you will be found out. I mean, we're going to rig it to 48%.
My
God. I digress. Anyway, that's not the point of the story. He decided to hire 4 men and himself and go fire shots at, was it 4 different Democratic officials?
State legislators. Yeah.
One article that I read said that one of the bullets went into the bedroom of the daughter of one of the people, but overhead, like in her ceiling.
Wow. And this man had been arrested before and served 7 years in prison for armed robbery. Had to go to a judge that allowed him to run.
There's levels to this story, all of which we're going to jot down some for future reference, because judges are an issue that we have talked about before.
Right.
It's
how does it? Y'all don't even want felons to vote.
How do they get to run for office if they're white?
Right.
Let me just say it out loud.
and
or light
Republican.
skin or
Right.
light enough. Because
Right.
he may have been Hispanic. I don't know his background. His last name, Pena, maybe.
Right. But I'm
Or was
pretty
it
sure that
Pena?
it is Pena. I'm pretty sure they knew who was running in the Republican Party.
They've closed their eyes.
They have.
They couldn't close their eyes to Herschel. They couldn't close their eyes to Oz or Carrie Lake because they were too vocal. But George Santos stank to the high heavens.
Yeah.
And this guy Pena should have never been allowed to run either.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain people, they closed their eyes, they held their nose, and they didn't do anything. Do you mean to tell me there was no one else? There was no better candidate than a man that had been in jail for armed robbery, and not a short sentence.
I know, 7 years, almost a decade. But they don't care. They're not talking about this right now. No one has said that this is an awful thing. No one has
condemned it or anything.
I have not condemned it. And you know why? Because they want us to tire. They want to continue to chip away. And we had this conversation the other day about, if someone goes to maybe them or their family or they get hurt, girl, I don't think that will stop them because the goal is to chip at democracy. They want it done. They don't care how they get to it. They don't want law and order. Scalise, he was shot. And this man is running around after the insurrection with the big lie, and he was shot.
Right. Considered as an alternative to Kevin McCarthy.
Exactly. I don't want any of them to be shot because all they're going to do is whataboutism. We haven't done anything since 2017 when Scalise was shot. Has a Democrat did some type of political violence? 2017. That's a long time. Every other day, Nancy Pelosi's husband, this dude, it's always trying to kidnap a governor. What
in the world, right? And go and have her on trial for treason.
Hanging Mike Pence, me and Honor were I said, then we figured it out. National Enquirer. Remember them people in that grocery store line with that some 10 hats and stuff. And then you know what they also want? They want Democrats afraid to run. They don't want us to run. They want us afraid. They don't want people to run again. They don't want people to be reelected. They just want terror. That's what they want.
Here's the thing about it, though. Here's what they don't understand. Let me say this as delicately as I possibly
No, don't be delicate. Let's go.
You're not stopping Black people from doing nothing. We used to y'all's violence. Y'all been violent with us since in Africa, you was violent with us. We probably didn't even make it off our own damn shores before you wasn't treating us like shit.
Right.
So do not think that any form of violence is going to scare us. It's not. The only thing that is going to scare is your other snowflake, fragile ass white people.
Right.
They the ones that can't take it. Oh my God. It only makes us stronger. Bring it on. You have not been able to exterminate us yet, and you're not going to. It's not going to happen.
That's right.
That point blank period.
That's right.
This whole violence and the media, and I get it because it's happening, right? I'm not worried about that. I got other things that I need to be concerned with. It's not going to stop me from voting. I wish somebody would step to me in line. I wish somebody would try to intimidate me as I'm trying to drop something off at a ballot box. What? Nah. And you got a lot of Black people that live on a I wish somebody would mentality.
Yep.
Because you know what? We've got about all the way up to here with I wish somebody would, and we just wanting somebody want to. So you keep on with that. Keep on with that.
Yeah.
That's not a winning strategy for y'all.
Exactly. It really, really isn't. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you keep chasing AOC down them hallways if you want.
What?
She from New York. Like, what's
From the
wrong with you?
Bronx, ain't she? She's from
You
Bronx.
girl, you from Georgia.
You don't want none of that.
Well, you want New York heat. That's why AOC ain't acting afraid. That's why you see videos of AOC eating and like just talking about like seriously. She's like, I'm home in New York.
like I know where you not coming to get me.
Exactly.
You might talk all that talk while we down in Northwest DC, but I know where you not going. You best to take yourself on home to Georgia.
Oh my God.
To be with your peoples.
Girl, we'll be in line for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, however long it takes. We ain't leaving that line.
We're not leaving. We're not going nowhere.
Y'all didn't know what happened when Black folks had to count jelly beans, or
this is what I'm saying. Like what?
So
now the long line supposed to get us?
Went to one polling place. They're like, "Hey, nigga, you at the wrong place." You had to walk 3 miles to somewhere else for them to say you at the wrong place, and have you walk the whole town looking for your. No, we don't stop.
Or I have seen more than one tweet that you put out where immediately after voting, a Black man was just shot and killed.
Shot dead.
Presumably in front of other Black people.
Yeah.
We still voting. We're still voting.
Yeah.
We still stand up and we get up and we do what we have to do every day. We're going to fight for voting rights. We're going to fight for our children. We're going to fight for our communities. We're going to fight for fair housing. We're going to fight for equal pay. We're going to fight for all of that. Equal justice. We're going to continue to fight. So
exactly. And salute to the lawmakers who are out there getting these death threats and who are still in this fight. So, Whitmore,
absolutely.
She almost got kidnapped and she's still in it, right? Like
she's still in it.
She's still in it, Nancy Pelosi, like all of the lawmakers, like kudos to you guys for real.
And you know what? Gretchen is Michigan, right? Michigan needs to be a national warning. You tried to mess with their governor, and they turned the entire state Democratic. And I want to say woman-led. So there.
Yeah.
I like that.
The whole state. But let's move. It's 8:44. Let's go quick. Quotes and questions. If you are not in the chat, please jump in now. I have a few quotes and folks in the chat, and Honor will guess who said the quotes. Is everyone ready? Except for me. Let's see. So I found a series of quotes about Kevin McCarthy.
Oh,
this is kind of funny. So first quote, poor old Kevin McCarthy doesn't look good. Kev should have shown some spine or some honor. An entertainer. She is blonde. She is a singer. She is a songwriter, comedian, and she was in Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Here's a lot of hints. Poor old Kevin McCarthy doesn't look good. Kev should have shown some spine or honor. Down and Out in Beverly Hills. The Rose. Comedian, singer, songwriter, blonde hair.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So it's a Joe Biden? Woman. Entertainer. Chelsea Handler.
Older.
Yeah.
Chelsea's a good guess.
It is a good guess. Was she in Down and Out in Beverly Hills?
I don't even remember Down and Out in Beverly Hills like that. Roses. I'm my age. Another one. Beaches.
Oh, Beaches. Yes, girl. Yes. Beaches. Good one.
And then if I say the last one, then everybody will guess. So we're going to give them a minute.
Yeah.
Oops. Where's everybody?
I know it's a hard one. I figured it was hard. Maybe you should give that last hint because I
Hocus
think
Pocus 1
ooh,
and Hocus
girl.
Pocus 2, which is out
Oh, Meryl
right
Streep is
now.
good.
Meryl
Hocus
Streep is
Pocus.
another good
That
one.
is a
Hocus
great
Pocus.
guess. Oh my God.
Yep.
Yay! Bette Midler.
Bette Midler.
That was a tough one. Good job, guys. That was tough. Next quote. Did everyone come in? Okay. Next quote. Mr. Trump, you know your power is wasting away when on the House floor, Lauren Boebert tells you to stuff it. Actor, filmmaker, meathead.
Okay, that was a good clue.
Mr. Trump, you know your power is wasting away when on the House floor, Lauren Boebert tells you to stuff it.
Extra point if you name the meathead reference.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Look.
Ooh, Artie, Rob Reiner.
Right,
What
right.
say
Okay.
you,
Any other
Michelle?
guesses?
Yes. What say you? Mr. Trump, you know your power is wasting away. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's a meathead. All right, me
That's
too.
right,
Big All in the
Artie.
Family, man.
Extra
Yes,
point. That's
yes,
right.
yes. So for the sake of time, we're gonna go on and call it, yes, Rob Reiner, All in the Family, meathead. I loved All in the Family.
Me
So
too.
good. What time is it? Maybe one or two more. This one's gonna be hard for everyone. All right, this is outside of Kevin. I've been campaigning against reparations for years. The last thing people who are impoverished need is more reasons to not work. Irrelevant ex-talk show host. Hit with a chair.
Oh, I take it. That's back. Excuse me. This QQQ was for people of a certain age.
Right. Oh, right. I know. You're right. You're right. We are going way back. Oh my God.
Right.
That is true. Oh my goodness. You're right.
I've been love the clues this week. Love the clues.
I've been campaigning against reparation for years.
Oh, Mary, so close.
Oh, that is real
paved the way for
close.
Jerry Springer.
Yes.
He paved the way.
He got a broken nose from a chair.
Dark hair.
Dark hair. There was a picture going around the internet with him shirtless.
Now or then?
No, now. Not too long ago. We'll have to find it.
And post it on the show with a warning label. Click if you dare, but we warned you.
We warned you. We warned you. Jerry Springer was a great guest.
Said all Latino.
Yes.
Is
he is, I think. He
is. I think so.
Because I thought that was what was so crazy
Maury.
about him. You guys are close.
Right.
He had
like that.
He had Nazis on his show, and that's how he got his nose broken.
Right.
What happened to him? He was fighting Nazis.
He is. Isn't he, Mary?
Oh,
I think she's right. He used to be. He was
so, right. Yeah, because he's definitely a big Trump supporter. He was anyway.
She can't come up with his
Okay.
name. Let's give it to him.
Geraldo Rivera. Geraldo Rivera.
Mhm.
I know it does take you back, huh?
You know what?
That was a
Speaking
good
of,
one.
yeah, very quickly,
Go ahead.
Taylor asked me who was Ricky Lake. Okay,
Oh,
we can go ahead on.
wow.
Right.
Where did she even get the name?
I don't know, but I was like, oh, I guess he wouldn't know who she was, huh?
Right,
Okay.
of course not. Okay. Last one. Both of these are gonna be really hard.
Yeah, Mary, you should have known Geraldo. She's
You sh-
like giving herself this smacky face, smack the forehead emoji.
let's see. I've seen enough. Kevin McCarthy has now lost the fourth round of voting. I never thought anybody could embarrass him more than he has embarrassed himself. CNN, political strategist, or you call it strategist, I'm not sure. Let's see, Telemundo, she's on as well. I believe she's on The View. Or was on The View.
I think she may be now. I really like her too. I've
Is
liked
she on The
her.
View? She's on The View, right?
Because I just read where she spoke out about something and she was very on point with it.
Yeah, she's a great follow on Twitter. I've seen enough. Kevin McCarthy has. Oh, okay. Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
wait a minute. Wait, Adam? Who's Adam? Who? Adam? Who's Adam on The View? Artie?
You might be thinking Adam Kinzinger. It's a woman.
Oh. Adam's on CNN?
I don't know.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't even know who is on The View. It's someone else on The View.
It's
Latina.
Whoopi,
She's a
Sunny,
Latina.
Joy.
Telemundo. The View.
Yes, it is. He's going to agree with Mary.
Okay. For time's sake, we are.
Yeah, he was thinking Kinzinger.
Oh, I got you.
Kinzinger.
Anna Navarro. Good job, everyone. And we're going to move on because we are running out of time. So, and I feel bad because this is a topic that needs more time than we're
It
able
is,
to.
but you know what?
Yeah,
It's
we'll go
one
quick.
that we are going to continue to highlight
Yeah.
and lift up in other shows because it's a part of a broader topic of mental health, right? This is
Right.
one spoke of it. So
Right, absolutely. So Anna and I just wanted to touch on suicide because after a 2-year decline in suicides, it has gone back up. I have some numbers and then we're just going to discuss why we think it's going up. And if you hear my dog, it's walking around. So these numbers are like staggering for real. So in 2021, the number of United States suicides, now I'm going to go general and then I'll break it to the Black community. 2021, 47,646 died by suicide. So that's up from 45,979 in 2020. So that's like a 4% increase, which is still a lot. Like if you're trending like 2,000 plus a year, that's pretty high.
That's pretty high. Yeah.
The highest are males ages between 15 to 24, which is not sad, right? They're the at-risk group. And notice 15 to 24 is also the age of these kids that are doing mass murders. Like I thought about that. They're around that age.
See why I say this is going to be a multi-show effort?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're at risk. 15 to 24-year-olds are at risk. Let me move on. There's another trend that's very
also
sad.
wanted to point out that they are, and I don't have specific numbers, but they are also encompassing a large number of opioid overdoses.
Yeah, that age, 15 to 24. That's the age to watch. Another trend that's going on are middle school age girls. In 2020, 204 girls ages 10 to 14 died by suicide.
The bullying?
10 to 14 in 2024. It has gone up. 2021, 237.
Oh, no.
That is a 16% increase in 1 year. So I don't know what it is for 2022 yet. Couldn't get those numbers. So now we're going to go into the Black community, because Honor and I have seen a trend there as well, because like lately, when we just years ago, you never heard of anyone in the Black community really committing suicide. Like we talked the other day and we're like trying to go back in our minds, like we're talking about Phyllis Hyman, and that's really, was that the 90s?
That was the 90s, because I was in my 20s, and that was really the first person that I can remember, and I'm African American, prominent that took her life. And you know, she was a singer, she was gorgeous, I loved her voice.
Gorgeous.
She seemed to be happy, but she wasn't. And so yeah, for me, that was really the first time. And so in saying that, it is not something that we really heard about or experienced in the Black community. Again, we were in our 20s at the time.
Exactly. So now to hear these different African Americans, just celebrities, and just personally, you know, in my family, there was one. There's something going on, and then we've heard about the students. So and I didn't even know this. So it started in 2022. Early in 2022, I guess, a news correspondent that was 30 years old, Chesley Christ, committed suicide.
I remember.
Yeah. So since then, it's just been steadily inclined. Ian King, I guess, Regina King's, we forgot about him. Her son, 26.
Right.
Well, shortly thereafter. So then, it's just been a steady increase. So between 2014 and 2019, the rates have increased in the Black community by 30%.
Ooh.
Between 2011 and 2020, suicide among Black men was 3 times the rate of Black women. So Black men are really in danger. Suicide is the leading cause of death among Blacks aged 15 to 24 again. The second leading cause, I believe the first leading cause is police brutality. I think it's police. Like I think
this is just too much.
Because I think cancer comes like in third or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about you were in the States. What do you think the highest suicide rates? What states?
I believe it's probably Mississippi, Alabama.
You're like, it's just the Republican states.
I mean, really, if I had to guess, I would. It's not. I mean, they happen to be Republican, but they also happen to be very poor,
right?
With not a lot of opportunity for people. Period, especially not Black people. That has been noted. Like the gains, it's just it's a national fact. Our unemployment rate remains higher than a national average.
Right.
And in those states where things are even more depressed. And I guess those states, what are the largest?
Right. And you're right, because I should have broken it down by state, by race. So I just have by state in general, and the highest is Wyoming and Alaska. And I know Alaska is really high,
Alaska, right?
Because they have to deal with so much darkness like that that time. And Montana and New Mexico. Yeah, right. Interesting. Still Republican state.
I wonder.
New Mexico.
We're gonna have to close this out. But I wonder because you said those were general numbers.
Yeah.
I wonder what the indigenous population is in those states.
Oh my goodness, right? Because you would think like Seattle or something like that would be, Wyoming,
Montana, New Mexico.
Yeah.
So let's look into that again.
Yeah.
But again, it's the Black and brown and indigenous communities, right?
Right.
I would be very interested in knowing what the population, what percentage of them are of the total percentage.
Right. But real quick, let's just touch on why we think, because I don't want to close out just with the data. Why do we think that is happening? Because I have an idea about, social media, because we talked about these children are being desocialized and they don't know how to socialize. And you said bullying, because if they're online and they're so engaged with likes and clicks and retweets and whatever shares and all of that, like if you're not getting that, you're not getting that positive affirmation.
Well, you know what? And let's not leave out these destructive policies that these governors and state lawmakers are making against anti-trans, against anti-gay. Oh my gosh, is it Oklahoma? I was just watching, Laverne Cox was on Morning Joe. And I think she said it is Oklahoma, where they have introduced a bill where it is against the law to do any type of gender affirming care up until the age of 26.
26? What do you mean?
26.
But you can buy an assault rifle, right?
At 18. So it's just a bullying, because that's what kids do. You're too light, you're too dark, you're this, you're that, you're not wearing that, you don't have this, you're not getting the likes on social media, you don't look like this. But then you also have hatred. These bills are hatred, and they generate hatred. If you have a 5-year-olds don't know what woke means.
Right.
They don't necessarily know what it means to be gay. They might see a man and a woman. They see two men or they see two women. If they're holding hands, to them, it might mean they like each other.
Right.
Why do we have to ruin children for political gain? And that's what we're doing, right? So, when you have the 5-year-old where it's told, well, it's okay if the man and a woman like each other, but two men like each other, it's wrong. That's the beginning of hatred. And they go and they see stuff at school, and that's where they spill that stuff out to other children. Children don't talk to other adults in a disrespectful or bullying way. They talk to other children.
Right. And these kids are, oh my God. And Roe, what does a young child in Mississippi do if she ends up pregnant and she can't get rid of it? So we're talking about suicide. So the suicide rate is really going to increase.
It's going to increase.
And the murder rate.
It's going to increase. And the murder and the domestic violence rate.
And the domestic violence. Right.
Because
of these policies, right? It's just
because these men that want these women to have their babies did not in any way, shape, or form consult the other half of that equation, and that is the father of those babies. Right? You forcing a woman to have a baby, they didn't put any obligation in with the men. And so you're just going to have it happens already. Men kill women all the time because they're So it's all tied together. It just all intersects.
Isn't it? Oh my gosh. That's why it's so important. It really kind of all goes back to politics. You just can't take politics out of any of this. So it is. Thank you, everyone. I know we went over. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Artie, you're right. Artie made a good point. He said he believes it's a combination of countless factors, including reduction of social programs, which we talked about, depressing political environment, without a doubt. Yeah. No hope. You're right. Like when there's no hope, what do you have?
And again, mainstream media has to do a better job, because social media is just going to be the cesspool that it is. And a lot of people don't necessarily have access. They have access to social media before they have access to quality educational programming that's really going to teach them, anything at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We
You know,
have to
right.
continue to fight. We started off this show with we're gonna have to continue to fight, and that's how we end it.
We ended on fighting, get mental health. You need mental health. 988 suicide hotline. We'll put it in the description. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very quickly on that, because I was reading very quickly. They have received,
Wow.
It has already handled more than 2 million inquiries across phone calls, chats, and text messages. It's been operational for 6 months.
Stop playing. And another piece of data that I read is for every one suicide, there are 20 people who are attempting.
Wow.
So it's a problem. It's a problem we're going to have to deal with, America.
Yes.
Okay, everyone. Sorry.
This is what you get sometimes. We laughed at the middle. We gave you serious at the end.
Yeah, sorry. I know we could have talked about George Santos and the dog at the end, but
the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Mary, thank you. Get some rest. Artie, thank you. Michelle, thank you. I know it's late. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you.
Bye, girls. Bye, girls.
Bye-bye.
Bye.